Hi everyone, so I know this video is a bit late, but one of my subscribers did ask me to show how to make baby food at home. Poppy is coming up to 1 year old now, so she doesn't have purees and things like that anymore, really. The only thing that she does have as a puree is I make fruit puree to put in with a porridge and things like that for her to have as cereal. So the only thing I have in at the moment is some apples. I also wanted to mention that I will be using the Von Chef baby steamer and blender. You don't need one of these. I think it was one of those kind of impulse buys that I bought. It's very useful, don't get me wrong, but you can do the same thing with a saucepan, a steaming basket. You don't even need a steaming basket, in fairness. You can just use a saucepan with a small amount of water and a hand blender, or you could mash it up with a fork, that kind of thing. If you are going to get one of these Von Chef baby steamers, I will leave the link below where I got mine from, but I will quickly mention, if you are to do any fruits, such as, I think I did blueberries last in this, it does stain. Not an issue for me, as I have had my use out of it and I won't be using it for much longer, but yeah, just keep in mind that it does stain. So on to how I actually prepare. The first thing that I do is give the stalks a little twist until they snap off. I peel each apple. Again, you don't have to peel them, but I always have done. So it's just kind of a habit with me. Even eating apples as a child, I used to sit on my granddad's lap and he'd peel them first. He used to carry a little knife in his pocket, and if we ever shared an apple, he'd peel it first. But yeah, you don't have to peel them, but I'm just going to go ahead. Okay, so then if you have a knife, by all means you can use a knife, but I have this little apple wedger and it's also good for potatoes as well. So I just pop that over the top of the apple, press down and discard that bit, and I just do that to all three. Then, just because I am using my steaming machine, it says to cut them into really small squares, so I just go over each one and cut it into three. Again, if you were using a saucepan or a larger steamer, that kind of thing, you wouldn't have to cut them up this small. You could just leave them like this. And I will mention today I am using Granny Smith, no, Golden Delicious, sorry, because that's all I have in at the moment. What I normally do is I'll go to my local market or supermarket and I will pick up a variety of apples. So I will get one Pink Lady, one Braeburn, one Royal Gala, a Granny Smith and a Golden Delicious, that kind of thing, and I basically cut them all up together and make an apple cocktail, call it, so that it doesn't just taste of one variety of apple. And Poppy seems to enjoy it a hell of a lot more when there is a fair few varieties, but she enjoys this just as much. So I'm just going to carry on cutting all these up. So then once you have all of your apples chopped up, come over to your Von Chef. As I said, this isn't dirty, it's just stained. But inside of here there is a max fill line, so you put the water up until that line. You put the lid back on, so the water in there is what's used to steam. It comes through at the side here. So then you just load in your apple chunks. Try not to overfill it because then it doesn't cook as even. So then you place your lid on, and then there's a timer. If you switch it on at the wall, there's a timer down here. I set that to the full time, which is 30 minutes. And as I says, the water inside of there will come through and steam the apples, and there's also a bar in the centre which warms them. So we'll check on this in 30 minutes. While that's in there, I'll just mention how I store these purees. So you'll need a spatula or a spoon, anything to get it out basically. And the other 4 of these are actually in the freezer at the moment with a different fruit in. But I have 4 little pots. I think these are the little angel ones from Asda. You can pick these up anywhere. These are just the lids. So what I do is fill each block and put the lid on, and this can stand up then in your fridge or your freezer. I also keep a jug out because once this is finished cooking, this will be full of liquid, and I always tip the liquid into a jug just in case, well, not so much now, but when I'd first started weaning, just in case it was too thick, I could use some of the liquid then, because it was kind of like apple juice. It's just water and apple that's mixed in together while it's cooked. I'd keep the liquid so that I could put it back in and blend it together to make it a bit smoother. So yeah, that's how I store my baby food. Okay, so now it's done. As I said before, there's all this liquid at the bottom. The apples are cooked. So now I'm just going to lift this jug off, and there's a small hole just here. So pop this down, bring the jug over, and I'm just going to use that to tip out that liquid. Again, give it a little shake just to make sure you got most of it out. After getting rid of the liquid which is inside of this jug, the apples are just in there on their own now with no liquid at all. So I've returned it back onto here so that I can blend it. Turn it off. Poppy has her food on the more chunky side now, so I only literally blitz it just like that. But if you were just starting out on weaning, you'd set it to blend, and you could leave it to blend for a minute maybe, if not longer, to make sure it's all completely pureed. But yeah, I'll just kind of blitz it, and then if you open the lid up, you will see that you have apple puree. This is red hot. Ouch. If I move this out the way, you can see that you have lovely apple puree. So I'm just going to put this part into the sink, and then just use your spatula. I don't think there'll actually be enough for 4 portions. Basically, if we start at the back one, like I said, this is actually quite lumpy because of Poppy's age. She doesn't really have puree anymore with no bits at all. She has little bits in. So I'm just going to fill all of these up. Well, I don't think I've actually got enough to do all 4, so it might just be 2. Try and fill them as best as I can. Yeah, I might as well just do the 2 and fill them right up to the top. So yeah, I'll just give these a little tap just to level them out. I did only make enough for 2, but I just pop the lids on use my hands. And what I do is I wait for these to cool down completely. I will put one in the fridge that Poppy can have tomorrow morning, and the other one can go in the freezer. So when Poppy first started weaning, I actually made her baby food up in ice cube trays, and I'd do exactly the same thing I've just done with different fruits, vegetables. I used to make it up in ice cube trays, and then I'd put some either a food bag around it or some cling film and put that in the freezer, and when they were completely frozen I'd tip them into a food bag so that I could reuse the ice cube tray, that kind of thing. Like say if we were going to have the wheat flakes, I'd use 4 spoonfuls of this, make it up with the milk as directed on the back of the pack. Then I'd also put in one of the cubes of fruit puree, and when she was first starting off with weaning, again I had it was either the baby rice first spoonfuls, or it was the, I think it's called Sunny Start first porridge, I'm not sure. It was still the Cow & Gate brand, like banana porridge, and I'd obviously make fruit purees the same way but in an ice cube tray. So I'd put a small amount, I think it was 2 spoons of porridge made up with the milk as directed, and then I used to put 2 spoons, then I used to put 2 cubes, ice cube sized cubes, can't get my words out, with that as well. I do store them in the freezer, as I said. I will be using one in the morning, hence why I'll be keeping one out, but the other one will go into the freezer, and I just label what it is with a little sticky note, and I use it within a month. I think you've got up to 2 months to use frozen baby purees, but I always try and use mine within a month, and to be honest we use them within a fortnight, that kind of thing. So yeah, I hope this video has been slightly helpful. As I said, I'm a bit stuck on what I can actually show because Poppy is fully weaned. She's not on her first foods, that kind of thing, but sweet potato was always a winner. So was carrots, cauliflower she didn't like so much, nor broccoli. She liked peas, oh god, I can't remember things. Banana, she loved banana and baby rice together mashed up was probably the fastest thing to make and the most enjoyable. And rusk as well, but we tried not to give her rusk too often because I'd rather her have natural sugar than sugars from a packet. So yeah, I'm rambling now, but I'm just doing it to try and help people, so I'm sorry. But yeah, one's going in the freezer, one's going in the fridge for in the morning, and I will put it in the morning. Poppy will have some of these wheat flakes with some of this as well. So yeah, thank you very much for watching.